Hey, this is Cameron Parker. You're listening to the Unbelievers podcast.
There were several groups. One of the principal ones was the reptilians from the Orion complex.
Without any exaggeration, it was like being on fire inside.
Rats were eating you inside.
This stuff was in my mouth. It felt like it was 500 degrees. It was unbelievably hot.
My first question would be, were you a member of the Church of Satan, a card-carrying member of the Church of Satan?
I don't understand.
There's always an argument for everything. You know, just because somebody can fake something doesn't necessarily mean it's
and we found a life form. And that's when I started shitting my pants.
So for the person who called, I am carrying an alien.
An alien baby. We covered right here, okay?
Okay.
Something is happening. What is it? That's the question. So do UFOs exist? It depends on what you mean exist.
In the world of cryptozoology, there are many dedicated and often eccentric individuals who devote their lives to finding the elusive hairy biped known as Sasquatch. Despite the many hours and resources spent on this endeavor, nearly all of these Bigfoot hunters have come up empty-handed or had their claims exposed as being fraudulent. Tonight, the Unbelievers podcast is back on the trail of the people on the trail of Sasquatch. This time, covering a man who's been on the forefront of hairy monster hunting since the 1960s and assembled the premier team of hunters, trackers, and relatives that quite possibly might someday or may already have found the body of Bigfoot. So move over, Rick Dyer, and get away from here, Tim Peeler, because it's time for the one true Bigfoot hunter. It's famous frauds, Tom Biscardi, Bigfoot Hunter. Right here on the program, we continue to learn to unlearn everything you know. Hello and welcome to the Unbelievers podcast. I'm your host, Russ Ryan, and joining me as always is my co-host, Drea Mora. Hello, Drea.
Hey.
And first-time co-host, Alex Curry, a.k.a. AC $. What's up, buddy?
Hey, I got my diet peach snapple. I'm ready to go.
All right. And our soundboard engineer and producer, Rob Oakey.
Is this a hoax?
This is as real as you're standing right where you are, sir.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hello, Rob.
So Rob's
Drea,
a hoax.
And welcome, AC $, Alex Curry, longtime unbeliever, writer of the Phoebe song, the Hollywood Brian Diss, and of course, Bigfoot's dick. What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Obviously, Bigfoot's dick. That's the exact way I like to be introduced at all times. The writer of Bigfoot's
That's
dick.
his flagship model, yeah.
That's what you're best known for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in Unbeliever world and real life.
People hear
good.
Bigfoot's dick, they think Alex Curry.
It's a great song. It's something to be proud of, you know?
Oh, thank you very much.
Just like Bigfoot's dick.
It's a really great song. You've made nothing but really killer songs for Unbelievable Podcast and for this show. So, of course, yes, we know Bigfoot's dick, that is your number one hit. This we're so well known for. So, hey, we had to have you on to talk a little Bigfoot because we've got some unfinished business. So let's get into it now. It's time for Famous Frauds, the Bigfoot hunter, Tom Biscardi.
I'm a-going hunting for the Sasquatch. I'm a-gonna get him just a you watch. Tracking his trail, looking for a notch. I'm a-going hunting for the Sasquatch. Going hunting for the Sasquatch. I've been a trapper and a hunter all of my life.
Oh, yeehaw, welcome back. That's Tim Huss with the Bigfoot Hunter song, because tonight we will be picking up where we left off just a few weeks ago with the episode Famous Frauds, Bigfoot Hunter Rick Dyer. At the end, we tease that there was always a bigger fish, even in this world of Bigfoot hunters. And so, as a little reminder, here is the teaser clip that we left to introduce this week's subject, the Bigfoot hunter, Tom Biscardi.
This guy who called himself the Bigfoot Hunter called and kind of invited himself out.
And he said, guys, I know you don't have the body of Bigfoot, but we can make a ton of money off this. Like the fake alien autopsy, that we can do a Bigfoot autopsy. He said, but we need a body, and we need a body quick. We asked for $50,000, and he gave it to us in cash.
I'm not going to sit here and volley back and forth with you or anyone else about the Bigfoot world. Half of them, 3/4 of them, they're all full of shit. Okay? They don't know what the fuck they're doing, and you're riling me up. Okay? But I'm glad you are, because it's about time that somebody comes forth and tells the truth. I'm here to do one thing, is to bring one of these creatures back. I don't want to talk right now. Just keep the camera off right now, okay? I said I don't want to talk. You got it? Joan, get me a Snapple.
Yes, we're back into the world now of Tom Biscardi. In the beginning, that was Rick Dyer pinning the blame on the whole Bigfoot in the freezer story on this guy. He gave him $50,000 in cash. Man, that is a lot of money for what these guys are putting out there, because that Bigfoot looked like shit.
It did. I can't believe that he spent and invested that much money for it to look like, I mean, we all saw it. It did look like a costume.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, like, why does this guy need to get these guys to do it? Who is this guy? Who is this guy that is known as the Bigfoot Hunter? What's his story? Why does he have $50K lying around to give Rick Dyer, of all people? What's really going on, man?
Can I make a confession right off the bat going into this right now?
Sure.
I feel a little bit bad because I watched, this time I actually watched Shooting Bigfoot. Our other episode we did, I went into it blind, which is kind of fun sometimes to do on this show, to go into these things blind and to do it just using your ears. But this time I watched the whole documentary, and I feel like I was maybe a little bit too harsh on Rick last time, because
that's what I was saying, man.
But he is kind of still a piece of shit, because he does just like continuously run his bullshit over and over and over again. I don't really respect that, but he's not as conniving.
Not as bad as this guy.
He's not as conniving. He's not as manipulative as I thought he was. He's really just like kind of dumb and easily persuadable. And I think he just really likes to run hoaxes and try to like fraud people.
You were like a few weeks late for this, buddy. He's in the SOS Hall of Fame now. Rob's come like, let me think about it.
Now you guys get it.
He earned his place in he earned his place in the SOS for sure by like not learning his lesson and never like, trying to like come out of it as like a good guy in the end. He just like doubles down every single time, and for that
they all do.
I guess
live in SOS hell. I don't give a shit.
Can I say, speaking of late to the party, that I just got to say right off the bat from also watching the documentary today that maybe some justice for Chico.
Yeah.
We'll
oh
get
my
to
God.
him. Hold on. You're getting a little ahead of yourself. We don't know who this guy is yet. So let's get into who we're talking about now. We know enough about Rick Dyer. It's time to talk about Tom Biscardi. This guy, Tom Biscardi, he's born in 1948, and his interest in Bigfoot came in 1967 after seeing that famous Patterson-Gimlin footage. And at the time, he's quoted as saying, "How the hell can we send a man to the moon, but we can't find this creature?" And this is how Tom Biscardi got his start. It was the late 60s, the early 70s, and he met and was mentored by a man named Ivan Marks. This is another well-known Bigfoot community, guys. Do you guys remember Ivan Marks?
No, not at all.
Ivan Marks is the guy who made a thing called The Search for Bigfoot, where he was like a narrator for Disney, and his wife worked for Disney designing costumes, and it did look like a nature film about Bigfoot.
I remember the person, but there's no way I was going to remember that name.
Don't remember that name being associated with that story at all, but I do remember the story.
This was Peggy and Ivan Marks. It was covered on Unbelievable podcast, Bigfoot Unbelievable podcast, not Ace Cash. I don't know why I got cash in the brain. It was made in 1976. It was called The Legend of Bigfoot, and I think it spawned the other movie where he's peeking out from behind a bush. That was the one where it goes, "He was awesome."
Yeah, for sure.
Here is Sasquatch peeking out from behind a bush.
Just a reference,
The man Tom Biscardi, his mentor is that guy Ivan Marks and his wife who make that movie. So in 1981, Biscardi produced a documentary called In the Shadow of Bigfoot, and it contained old Ivan Marks footage of the same pointy-headed, pointy-eared alleged Bigfoot that was seen in all the old Ivan Marks movies. And most of the Bigfoot community, they just kind of regarded his early movie as just a laughable fake. So Biscardi would spend the next couple of decades investigating Bigfoot, but he didn't make any documentaries through the 80s or 90s. He didn't really do much of anything until 2005, when he would hit the big time. This time going on Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie, our old friend.
That's the big time.
Let's hear what Tom Biscardi has to say to our old buddy George Norrie about a series of sightings being investigated in Canada.
Tom, this Canadian story seems to have a lot of people wondering now about the existence of Bigfoot.
It's finally coming to the front once again, George. And by the way, how you been? Hope things are well.
Things are well.
Yeah. We just got back
ourselves at 4 o'clock this morning. We just had a sighting a day and a half ago, and it was just totally off the hook. It was up in the Kissimmee Mountain Range, wilderness area. But let's stay first focused on the situation up there in the Yukon. This was up in a town called Teslin. I talked to Keith Smarch this afternoon.
Smart.
There was quite a few, I guess 3 or 4 of the Smarch family up there out of the 9. And what you had said earlier about they had seen it through a window when it had walked by. And then, of course, you know, you got teenagers, and they're curious as heck, and they're going to go out and try to chase the thing. Well, they couldn't keep up with it, as you know. It vanished off out into the brush, went deeper in, and they were just tired out, and they just couldn't follow any longer.
Very unusual that you'd get 9 people at one time to see a Bigfoot, isn't it?
Wow, it's a great point, George. Man, this guy can ramble on and on, which is another kind of knock against him. But
but it's off
I don't know,
the
play
hook, though,
Soundboard
man.
1, because this Bigfoot sighting going on in Canada, you know, this thing was just...
It was just totally off the hook.
Totally.
It's we say that in Canada a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
But is it cool to say, or do you say it mockingly?
Oh, no, it's probably like the coolest thing there is here.
Well, that's
it's usually
that's
Bigfoot
fair.
related, too. Anything Bigfoot related is completely, totally off the hook. 2005, yeah, Tom is an older dude. Like I said, he's born in 1948. He's like, yo, this is off the hook.
I feel like this is the first time in many times that I'll be able to say in this episode, okay, boomer. Like, legitimately. He's like, it was off the hook. And you're like, okay, boomer.
Just wait until he finds out.
Wiggity whack.
Just wait till he finds out about chains and how off things can be off of chains.
Yeah, for sure.
Hold on, he hasn't discovered change yet. Well, I don't know. He's sticking to hooks right now. But this is his big story that he's getting on coast to coast with. You know, having 9 people see Bigfoot. That somehow isn't strange, according to Biscardi. And here is his rationale for dismissing that.
Oh, sure. But see what's happened now, George? It's the kids are out of school. People are on vacation. There's going to be more and more sightings. By the way, the creature up in this area, it's called the Bushman. Besides Sasquatch, the lower elevations you get. But up in the Yukon, the north of the territories that you go up even further, it's called the Bushman. And over there in Manitoba, it's called Sabe, S-A-B-E. And you're going to find out more and more people while they're camping, while they're on vacations, because of the outback areas where they're going, there's going to be more and more sightings.
Yeah, 9 people could see these. Like, people are about to be out of school. People are going to be everywhere. The Bushman lurks.
Yeah, he waits for like spring break and summer vacation to interact with the people.
It's prime time to be. You think Bigfoot would know that these are the times that the humans are all out? But George Norrie, you know, usually he's going to be able to go with the flow of whatever his guest is talking about. But listen to this next clip. I don't think George is very much believing Tom Biscardi.
Now, this one was described as being, what, almost 10 feet tall?
Yeah,
That's
but
pretty good size.
Yeah, George, but, you know, in the midst of the hysteria, okay, and the shock,
all right,
you'll find out if, and you go back.
These things get bigger when you get a little more panicky.
Okay.
Ooh, that end there is like, oh, they get a little,
Yikes.
Interesting. Yeah, George sounds like he's kind of giving him a little shit, maybe. I don't know.
It's rare to hear it. I think maybe he believes him, but he just thinks he's an asshole.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like how he always has to get one up on it. I've noticed this.
He's not wrong. This guy is an asshole.
Tone is a big thing. You know, it's one thing to, well, at least he asked George how he was doing, and he actually cared. But there's something
Even
about
that
tone
seemed
and
insincere.
word choice.
He was like, "How are you doing, my old friend?" He's like, "Oh God."
Yeah, you called it, Rob, but the word manipulative with him. Like he gets a certain way, and then he cranks up a certain dial on his tone. It just sounds assholey. He sounds like an asshole from the beginning.
I mean, I'm sure Russ is going to probably explore other reasons why this guy's an asshole throughout this episode.
Oh, well, maybe.
So I'm sure we just need to strap in.
Yeah, just strap in. Strap in. Let's see what else. This is the time to strap in because Tom Biscardi, he has some breaking news that he is ready to share with the world.
Right now, though, George, I'm going to tell you, within the next 2 weeks, we are having an imminent capture of a creature right around the corner.
Now, how do you know this?
We were just there. We've been there for 3 weeks now. We just come across its lair 2 days ago. And remember when we talked about being out in the caves, the cavernous area?
Yeah, we did that back in May.
Remember that?
Yep.
Well, of course, we were right once again. But you know what, George? We're going to make this available to the entire world.
Okay, you're not going to hurt it.
No way. No way.
That's not like
And what's happening here is I just signed today with a big Canadian company, and we're going to have a reality video stream of us on expedition. So everybody in the world will be able to go to the website, never leave the comfort of their living room, and go on expedition with us on a daily basis.
Is it going to be live or is it going to be delayed?
Live.
Live. He says he's doing it live. There's going to be an imminent capture. AC $, in well, this isn't actually in Canada. He's kind of misleading, but they are going to film a streamed reality show Bigfoot capture.
Yeah, it's compulsory in Canada that we have to participate.
No matter what, it's like, hey, Canada, here's what's happening. Get yourselves ready.
He's a little bit confusing in this because he starts first talking about a sighting in Canada where 9 people are seeing it. Then he starts talking about this thing he's going to do a live stream. This is 2005, Rob. Revenge of the Sith is in the theaters.
I just graduated high school. Literally just graduated high school.
Oh, me too.
He's on the internet getting ready to break the greatest news you could ever break. So George Norrie, he's worried about the safety of this creature. You heard that. Mm-hmm. So Tom Biscardi, he's going to give him some reassurances.
We're there to search and ferret, seek it out, subdue it to an extent that it's there strictly for study. After the DNA and after the doctors, the PhDs, the anthropologists have gone through their study and do what they have to do, it's release.
Oh, you're gonna let it back in the wild?
You bet we are.
And in the general area, the location, Tom, that he's running around in right now?
I'll be more than happy to tell him and everybody in the world. Okay, it's
and you will on this show.
You bet, you bet. And it's a town called Happy Camp, California. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is Happy Camp, California, and this live stream reality show idea. I don't know, even George is flexing on him now. He's like, I want to tell the world. He's like, well, you're in the right place because this is where you talk to the world.
It's happening.
Still patronizing him though, like with that like subtle sarcastic tone that he's got going on.
Which is good. You know what? And I have to give George Norrie credit in that respect, that's the closest he sounded to Art Bell. It's giving him that little bit of snark, like, well, yeah.
This interview is literally like 2 George Norries in a room having to like interview each other. They're both like the same level of like credibility between them. So like, it's tough. It's kind of tough.
They meet a really weird middle in here, and
one of them's going to start singing, so we don't want that.
So think about what he actually said. He said, yeah, we're going to monitor this thing. We're going to catch it. You get to watch it all on this thing. And then we're going to let it go. But could you realistically release a Bigfoot in the wild? I mean, wouldn't either other people go after it? Or what do? Would you tag it, monitor it?
Yeah,
you take it to a whole other
country.
GoPro
on it and stick it on your website? Is that what he's going to do with
you
this
give him a new identity.
It's not like an injured raccoon where you can like just like open the door and he just runs away and like looks at you and thanks you from 20 feet away. It's like, I don't think he would attack you as soon as you let him free. He would like
they probably would tranquilize him first and then just leave him somewhere. But like you said, you can't just drop him in a population of other Bigfoot like community.
Here you go, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't know why this guy sounds like he's so sure of himself. This like, no, this is happening. We can go on the website. Trust me, we're going to be capturing this. You can see it all. And this next clip, Rob, I pulled this next clip for you because during the open lines with him, one of your favorite topics comes up.
I can't wait.
I remember a call, Tom, we had several years ago of a woman whose little girl used to play with baby Bigfoot. Or maybe Big Feet. What is it? How do you say that? If you have more than one, what do you call them?
Bigfoot.
And they're still Bigfoot, not Big Feet, huh?
Okay, I just had it's not baby Big Feet, but the topic came up while he was on for some reason.
I love it, dude.
He was looking at a little baby Bigfoot.
She was looking at a little baby Bigfoot this time.
Yeah.
I love it.
Maybe one day you'll get to look at a little
baby someday. An adolescent, or what do they call them in this documentary?
A juvenile.
A juvenile.
Yeah.
It's a juvenile. It's got to be a juvenile. I could tell it's juvenile just from the sound of it. Like, okay,
something left that footprint.
There's a lot of fun on these open lines, and here's one open lines caller who has some concerns about Biscardi's intentions in Happy Camp, California, and mentions this.
Yeah, I think what it concerns me is when I've looked at your website and you talk about the findings and materials forthcoming from this investigation will also be offered for commercial sale and distribution. And then I read on there also that the recent sighting in Happy Camp that some people went out with a 357 Magnum. This is a real sentient humanoid being and has lots to share with us humans. And I would just like to see some people who are out looking for a connection, a physical connection with Sasquatch, who really are open to what he has to share with us.
Well, you know, Kathleen, that's a very good viewpoint, and I invite you personally to be my guest when we're up there within the next 2 weeks, since you're not that far. And you can be my guest, and maybe you can, you know, transcend some of your learnings to us.
Well, that may be fair enough. You might want to give that a shot. I should say a opportunity. All right? Thanks, Kathleen.
George with a little zinger at the end there. Do not do this, Kathleen. That guy, he comes off so smug. Even in trying to appease that woman, he's like, oh yes, please. Oh, transcend us with your wisdom, old Sasquatch sage. Like, he seems so annoyed at the slightest criticisms.
Yeah. Heavy-handed with the compliments there, where he's like, he's overdoing it to the point where he's like, well, I didn't say anything wrong. What?
He's got the charm of a sleazy car salesman.
Yes.
It comes off so insincere. You can tell it's like a face that, like, over a voice. Like, you can tell there's a real voice in there that wants to say certain things, but he's just running this minefield of trying to talk to George Norrie, who knows it. I think George senses it and is like, I'm going to get some out of this.
George does his homework. Like, George may come off sometimes like he's like a little aloof and like, oh, I don't know what's going on with this interview. Like, I need to find out what's going on. He knows what he's asking these questions for a reason.
I think he's got assistants who do that research for him. That's why he sounds so clueless half the time.
I mean, of course, he's got researchers and like, there's probably like assistants and stuff, but he's kind of got to know, he's got to have a little bit of a background in order to like give a decent interview, you know?
This was 15 years ago or 16 years ago too, right? He was a much more engaged with the whole community of all that.
Yeah.
So
he was better back then.
Definitely,
he was better back then. So
he is shining right now. I was very happy to find this. I was like, as you're going to hear, George Norrie, you're going to think a little differently after this. Because before ending this interview, George asked Tom Biscardi, what are the odds that he will be able to capture Bigfoot on an internet live stream in Happy Camp, California in 2005?
Give me your best guess, your probability on what % you think you will be able to find or to capture for a short time at least a Bigfoot.
98%.
You are that sure?
I knew.
George, we are so close here. You have no clue.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. I guess we have no clue. That is a bold claim. 98%. This is happening. Like, if you're listening to this at the time, you were super into early interview, you'd be like, oh my God, this is real.
No, if he's like standing on the trap, in the middle of the trap, and it's about to go off, that's 98%. You know what I mean? That's
right, because he could still sidestep it.
Yeah, he could still get away. There's still a slight chance that he could get away from this thing. What is he talking about?
I'm going to say this guy failed statistics if he ever took it.
Delusional. That's the word I was looking for to describe him. Delusional.
Yes.
Dude, he's the Bigfoot hunter. He knows what he's doing.
The Bigfoot hunter, yeah. The Bigfoot hunter.
He calls himself the Godfather.
Oh.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's the worst. Like,
I know anybody that refers to himself
a Godfather?
Yeah, he refers to himself as the Godfather.
That must have been something that, like, Ivan Marks called himself, and like, because he passed away in 2000. So I think this is when Tom's like, well, the throne is rightfully mine. I'm the oldest trickster in the book as far as Bigfoot goes. And this what we just heard. That was on July 14th, 2005. But Tom Biscardi, he would return to Coast just a month later with more shocking Bigfoot-related news.
The big news was I was trying to have the film for you. My other associate over in another area that we're working with.
Right. You had a couple regions going on at the same time, if I recall.
Well, I have 3 going on.
All right.
Okay? And I got to level with you straight up now, George. We've had one in captivity now in the other location for a little while. When we got him, he was injured. He had 5 wounds. And he's been coming along great, and they were supposed to have the film for me tonight to put it on the air for you people and your viewers.
Now, are you telling me you have found a Bigfoot?
There's a Bigfoot in captivity right now, okay?
No.
They did it. The madman, he actually captured a Bigfoot and injured, or was injured. It's still impressive. He's caught Bigfoot.
No,
yeah, only
no,
5
he
injuries.
didn't.
How great.
There's no way.
Well, he obviously did.
There's no way.
Yeah, because he inflicted the 5 injuries. That's how he knows exactly.
Yeah. They make it sound like it's going through rehab. They're rehabbing this Bigfoot back.
They are.
Just so he can
going
go
on.
back into the wild. He had. What are his 5 injuries? I need to know that.
Oh, hold on. You ain't gonna
They're
get
all
there,
mental.
So, look. He's got 3 teams, like these crack teams, all scattered around. Some got webcams, some don't, but one of the teams got it. George has to be in shock. So let's hear the info on this captured hairy biped.
I was going to have this film ready for you tonight that you could put up and you could have come on. But I'll tell you this, by morning, it should be on the website because the guys were, without haste, was getting this over for us to put on the encoders.
How tall is he? Can you tell me that?
Yeah, he's over 800 pounds. It's a male. Was a little undernourished. Weighed in about 416. Infected with a lot of mosquito and different type of bites. But the doctors have nursed him back. But now I'm having controversy between the 2 doctors that I've got involved.
This has got to be
and all that kind of stuff going
if
on
you
right now.
indeed have a captured Bigfoot, you have probably found one of the greatest discoveries of mankind, Tom.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's what I'm going to label it as, George. The 8th wonder of the world.
Oh, God.
Whoa, I thought that was Jeff.
It was, yeah. So this is the 9th. It's fine.
That son of a
Incredible
bitch.
claims. Alex, you hear these incredible claims that they have caught the beast? He says it's 800 pounds and 400 pounds. It's very confusing.
I hate him so much.
I like how he said specifically he has infections from mosquito bites.
No,
all
he said
right.
mosquitoes. He said
right.
mosquitoes.
My bad.
Now, do you think he's freestyling this right now, or is this pre-concocted, scripted out? Does he have this written down in front of him somewhere?
No.
I think he's got bullet points.
He seems like one of those guys who might just go into these situations and freestyle the whole time.
Oh yeah, no, this is purely off the dome. Like he
he's
just
cocky,
calls
right?
and hopes that somebody answers, and you're like, I'll just figure it out later.
But he has a mission, though, because he wants people. Remember, he's back again, and he said that he had a website where he's going to have this streaming stuff. So we know if you sign up there, you're probably a little closer because he's like, we got the thing. It's a messed up.
There's a
we'll
racket
get to
involved.
it now.
There's definitely a racket involved.
It's not up yet, but this is the footage. He keeps mentioning the footage, and he's trying to get the footage to George so the whole world can see once and for all Sasquatch is real, and he can shove it in the face of all those people who have been ridiculing this guy for 30 years. But he tells us the Sasquatch is in an enclosure. It is communicating with the doctors through gestures. The claims are really unbelievable. But how can the general public see the footage? Well, we're going to find out.
It's just incredible. And we had a lot of this on film, which we're going to be showing on our website. And by the way, George, the viewers who have signed on, okay, I'm not going to charge them anything more than what they have already charged, that we've charged. And anybody who subscribes by the time we put it on will be the same price. But then, because of the attorneys and everybody else, they're going to be charging a special price just to see the creature in its habitat on its daily routine and what it does.
I'm sorry, I had to.
No,
I had to do
that's-
it. I had to
we
throw
were
a
all
flag in there.
thinking it. What a fuckhead!
Because of the attorneys.
the attorneys and stuff.
Yeah,
the
well,
stuff is
everybody's
really
gotta get
expensive.
paid.
Yeah, I mean,
You know the
attorneys, of
attorneys.
course, you know how it
More
goes.
than one.
He's got to
apparently.
get the video to the encoders as well, because
The encoders played a big part in this.
you got to encode every video needs to be encoded before uploaded
Rob.
to YouTube. Of course, I mean,
Doesn't this reek of Stan Romanek? It's like, well, the scientists, they're not ready to. They can't say yet what it
it's
is.
so easy for some people to just lie. It's so fucking easy. It's
See, you say he's
insane.
freestyling, but this was what he was drawing everyone to. He wants to tell you it's easy to see. You just have to pay Tom Biscardi $14, and you got to subscribe to his website. And at the time, in 2005, would you have paid $14 to watch Bigfoot on a webcam on all day, just
fuck
walking
no.
around in an enclosure?
Fuck no.
Definitely.
In the words of Tom
I
DeLonge,
wouldn't-
fuck no.
Yeah, because in 2005 I was broke. All right, I didn't have shit. There's no way $15 would have bought me lunch for 2 weeks. So no, I wouldn't have.
Yeah. No.
But I'm not going to lie. I probably would have.
Definitely.
Well,
I would definitely.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense, actually.
Honestly, I mean, $15 to see whatever the hell bullshit this guy is peddling, even if it's just a guy in a suit in a cage, just wandering around smoking cigarettes.
Would have at least like pull together with your friends, like get one person and we all give it and put in a couple of bucks.
You
and
can
we
take
can all
shifts on logging in, like.
Yeah,
I'll take 8 to 3. You guys take 3
It's
to
2005
12,
though. This is pre-watch party. This is pre.
No, but you all get together. See, people still saw each other face to face.
Oh yeah,
in
right. I forgot that there was watch parties like before. Like
yeah, like pay-per-views or like fights and stuff.
Watching stuff together, Rob.
Weird.
Yes, it was being with humans.
Weird. You can sit with other people on a couch and watch television
for a few minutes at a time, and then it gets to be too much.
I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I don't know if I like anything anymore.
The pitch is out there now, though. The pitch is there. Go to the website. You can watch Bigfoot doing all kind of whack, getting all up to all kind of weird stuff, whatever he's doing. And here's George with another great question about the eighth wonder.
Have you touched the creature? I mean, like...
I'm on my way there now with the film crew, okay?
So you haven't seen it yourself, or you have?
See, what happened was every day, because of the other two hot spots going on, we're very close over here, too. So what happened was they were bringing over the film today, of the culmination of film that they've taken on a daily basis, and I was going to have it all encoded and put it on a website for our viewers and for your viewers out there, too. Because I figured I'd do a big splash for you guys.
Well, how about a cell phone picture or something?
Geez, I don't even know if we could do that or not, George. But I'll try. If I can, you'll be the first one I'll put it for.
Why?
It sounds so convoluted. Like, the cell phone aside, it's like, well, I'm in this camp over here, but, I have all this info, but they're in this other camp. They caught him. It's like, if one of your camps catches Bigfoot, you just leave. You just go. All right, never mind. We don't have to worry about this spot anymore. We have a Bigfoot.
Picture. You upload the picture to the freaking internet. Like, how hard is that?
He's talking about setting up a live webcam to stream it to the internet, yet he's like, I don't know if I can get a cell phone picture.
I don't know how that works.
I've never actually seen the thing. Hold on. That's when we learned. He's never seen this thing
yet. That's what I mean.
He's
so determined to prove that it exists, but he won't even go over and they have one already. They caught it. You don't have to worry about catching another one. You have one already, dude. Focus here. Focus.
I'm a big fan how George opened up with, have you touched it?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, that made me blush.
Did it feel like gross, or was it like cool, like furry?
He wants
the first date.
He wants to know what it felt like. That's what he wants to know.
That's where George's mind goes. It's like, well, because he was leading to like other parts you may have touched. Is he gonna take this a whole different line of questioning?
Did you smell it?
Smell it.
No, I did not smell it. I did not touch it. I have not been in the same state as this thing. I assume it's there, but give me my money. Before they wrap up this interview, Tom promises, please, just drop that $14 on the website, smash the subscribe button, and you can watch Bigfoot to your little heart's content. He's going to be playing in his little enclosure, and they part ways with this.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friend. You will either be an international hero or a goat. There will be no in-between for you on this one, Tom. You know that.
Hey, and that's the reason why I'm telling you out there.
All right, my friend. You keep in touch with us.
Okay.
All right, that's Tom Biscardi. You heard him. He's got a Bigfoot, 8 foot tall. And as soon as we can get a picture from him, we'll post it on the coasttocoastam.com website. Because this is it. If he says he has it, then he's got to wheel this thing out.
Yeah, nice imagery, George. Wheel this thing out for us. But I don't know, play soundboard too, because you heard George Norrie. Biscardi will either be
an international hero or a goat.
That's the weirdest way to say goat.
I've never heard
goat.
An international hero or a goat.
Goat. It almost sounded like gout. Yeah, but oh my God, how brutal is that? That he just even, you can tell George Norrie's voice doesn't even believe that he's got it. He's like, well, he says he has one.
Biscardi is getting really close to the sun in the paranormal world, as close as you can get. He's saying, I have the body of Bigfoot. I'm ready to put this thing on the web. And he's like, if this is bullshit, like, you're going to go down so hard. He's like, yep, We're going for it. Sign up now. It's like, all
he's
right.
being like, don't play with me, Tom. Don't play with me, Tom.
It's like,
don't break my heart, Tom.
Believe you.
Yeah.
So where do you think what do you think is going to happen, Alex? You think he's going to be an international hero, or what did George say again? Wait, what is it?
An international hero or a goat.
A goat?
Where do you think he's going to fall on this?
You think he's going to be a
goat? For gout?
I mean, obviously his track record is pushing towards a gout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that has different meaning now, though. Like,
Well, I mean,
I don't know exactly what he meant by goat.
He's probably the greatest at something.
Yeah.
I would say faking
Bigfoot of all
Bigfoot.
time.
Yeah.
This man, when everyone hated you for being a goat. This is before it was. No, this is not. We could add it to the champions clip for maybe someone who wins the season. Like, you're a champion, and then it's like gout. You're the greatest of all time. We could use it for that.
Yeah. We could actually. That's kind of a fun idea. We could do like every year. We could pick like the goat, the unbeliever goat.
Unbeliever goat.
Who's the goat?
I don't even know if I can. Like,
And the only thing they win is just their name, and then it's just gout. And that's
Just gout. Like we just say
like a George Norrie
every
sticker.
episode
Like
for the
we
year.
like little gifts. Yeah, there'll be a Norrie sticker
We'll
saying
figure it
the
out.
gout.
We'll workshop it. We'll get this
We'll
going,
work it.
guys. It's a
Yeah,
good
we'll figure
idea.
it
I think
out.
we're heading somewhere good with this.
Well, we are. Alex is getting us on the right track because it wouldn't take long to find out. Because just 3 days later, Tom Biscardi would have to return to Coast after not having posted any pictures or video or anything that he guaranteed when he hit up the Coast to Coast listeners for that $14. And he has to go back like a goat with his tail between his legs. Here he is explaining himself.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Hi. Can
Yeah,
you hear me?
there you go. Sure.
Okay. A little tired and a little disappointed, but I'm fine.
Okay, well, now what do you mean disappointed?
Well, like I told Tom, your producer, I'd have, and I told your listeners yesterday, that we'd have it up on our website for them to see, which it's up there now, and it's on the greatamericanbigfoot.com. Tells the story how we were hoodwinked. We didn't know any of this until Saturday.
Okay, now what do you mean hoodwink?
Okay, what's happened, this all started back on the 15th of January. And some people had been following our treks through your show, believe it or not. And she had contacted Peggy Marks, our co-founder, and this woman's out of Stagecoach, Nevada, and proceeded to tell her the story about the sounds that's been going around at her house and that there was some Bigfoot in the area.
Okay, so he's into ramble mode, but the point is he got hoodwinked, and I don't know if you caught it in there. He tried to put a little blame on George there when he was like, "A Coast listener, mind you, did this to me."
Your guys did this.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
you're the one who came on the show, you dummy.
He's doing his little manipulative thing. Where he's trying to like manipulate the story so that it can like end up.
He's got everyone's
going in his
money.
favor, yeah.
He got the money a few days ago. Nothing came up. Yes, go on.
I'm sorry, I was just about to say, did he just set up a whole website and go on Coast to Coast because somebody heard some sounds in her house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that his story? And he's
fine.
It's a very long story. Okay, it's a very long story that starts with a woman that hears Bigfoot noises. The story, though, it's so long and boring. And I'm just going to sum it up.
The pacing is like... He's killing me.
I'm going to sum up her story real quick that led to this. There was a lady on a ranch. She saw a Bigfoot. And then two young men from a nearby reservation, they go and track the Bigfoot, and they shot one of two that they saw with bows and arrows. And they shot it 5 times with bow and arrow. They bring the Bigfoot into some kind of compound, and now 2 veterinarians are there trying to heal it. And then the 2 veterinarians, they start fighting about who owns the Bigfoot.
It's my Bigfoot. It's my.
I healed it.
I'm a
He
cure this
bonded to me.
His story takes so long, though. Here is an example of how rambly and made up his whole hoodwink explanation is. Here he is talking about those 2 veterinarians fighting over Bigfoot ownership rights.
And one of the veterinarians was jealous of the other for ownership rights as the time ran on, okay? And kicked the other veterinarian out. Supposedly he was thrown in jail. They thought he was crazy and that, he just came off of some spaceship from out of Mars, and they finally let him go 2 or 3 days later.
His whole story is like this. He knows coming down the pike is him, the subject of him ripping off people. And for like almost 15 minutes, this story goes on and on about how everyone is crazy and they're sending him all this stuff. And even his partner, Peggy Marks, that she's trying to trick him. Ivan Marks' wife is trying to trick him, and he throws her under the bus. This is a way different tune than that confident 98% guy, right?
Oh, yeah. Peggy M was saying this, and then Peggy L was saying something completely different. But then we all know that she's just jealous because Peggy M is going out with the guy that Peggy L it's like he sounds like he's talking about schoolyard gossip shit.
He went from 98.5% sure that he could show you Bigfoot to being just 100% the victim of whatever the fuck this story is leading to. He's slowly getting there.
You can also tell that he's lying for sure because he just keeps talking in uptalk, and he keeps talking about people being from outer Mars, and then there was this and that. And, you know, it's just, it sounds ridiculous.
It's like a kid telling on someone, too. It's like, and then they took it here, and they ripped us off this one time, and, and then she took the pictures, but he didn't give me the pictures. It's like, all right.
It reminds me of, like, the cadence that someone has when they're speaking to a police officer, and they know that they're, like, guilty of something, but they're trying to, talk their way out of it. It's like he's already talking to, like, the cops, and it's just George Murray, kind of.
They're like,
you know?
if I keep trailing on in different things, something's going to catch their interest. It's going to get the attention off of me.
Exactly. Like, if I just make this story long enough, I can get out of this.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, officer, I was just walking by, and then I just fell in this car window, and the keys went in the ignition, and I just started driving the car away. I don't know what happened.
I figured I would take the car to its owner who lost it, because clearly they didn't mean to leave it here.
He does sound like that. He really does.
Well, good thing George, he knows where this is going. I think he's got him kind of not off the hook, but on the hook right now, and he's going to start reeling it in. Well, George tries to steer the conversation to the whole streaming charges thing, but instead of addressing it, he just dismisses him.
Chasing all these different towns and everything.
You've charged people for the internet service for stuff like this.
Yeah. Well, what we charged the people for the internet service was 24/7 streaming, which we've been doing, George. So, you know, they haven't been gypped at all.
Wow.
There was, as a matter of fact, 2 of the people who emailed says that they saw something last night. But this is more important. So now...
Okay, a live stream of some random woods is not the same thing as watching a Bigfoot habitat 24/7.
Right.
Even in this interview, he said that the Bigfoots were drinking milkshakes and that they ate bananas. None of that happened. You didn't see any of that.
Guys, are we doing the right thing here? Should we just be filming the woods and charging people for it?
Oh,
I think, you know, maybe that's where it's at. Maybe he's the smart one and we're a bunch of idiots
That's what I'm
who have
thinking
not
right now. I'm like, damn, there's
yet.
woods everywhere.
Yeah.
Look, I can go and walk in front of the camera now and then and drink a milkshake.
I just said it was 24/7 Bigfoot cam. I didn't say he'd be there. It's like, no, you said this was an enclosure. We were looking at an enclosure, like watching it. You know, we would go play. We could watch him sleep if we wanted to.
I'm wondering,
eat milkshakes,
do some
bananas.
jigsaw puzzles.
Do you guys remember that footage that we watched on one of the streams of? I think it was like webcam footage of like a national park or something, and then they like caught Bigfoot. They caught like a family of them.
I remember that. That was
far
great.
in the distance. I wonder when that footage was taken, and if that
And
could
did they
coincide
charge
at all
$14?
with this little project that he had going on,
No.
where he could be like, I wonder if there's a way to make money off
His
of
camera
video,
would
off
never
of
look that good. That
No,
thing looked
I'm just
great.
saying, I wonder if he
His
got
stuff-
the idea from seeing that, if he was like, everybody seems to really like this cam footage video of Bigfoot. I wonder if I could figure out a way to make money off of this.
I agree with Alex. I think he's just making all this off as he goes. Like, this is all off of the dome, where he's like, oh, yeah, the lady, she wouldn't let us go over here. And, we just said you could look at a stream. We didn't say it would be Bigfoot. It's like, no, you did say it would be Bigfoot. That's all you said.
He did.
Well, to be fair, he said 98%.
Yeah, 98.5%. Yeah.
We were so
that,
unlucky to be the 2%.
Still that 1.5% where he's like, no, whatever, it's fine.
I know I'm getting fed up.
No refunds.
I think he gets to the point, too, here, where George Norrie gets fed up as well.
Tom, let's cut to the chase here. If we want to get to these phone calls, as far as you're concerned, then right now, there is no Bigfoot, right?
Nothing I have seen from these people Can I continue the story?
No,
George?
I don't really want to get into the rest of the story because we just don't have time for that. Because I mean, the difference is you admit you were duped. There is no Bigfoot. There are no pictures. And I just want to move on with some calls and
let me say this.
Yes,
George.
sir.
Okay. The thing about it is when we finally got down to Stagecoach, Nevada, and to meet with this woman, she wouldn't let us in. We found her husband at his job. We converged on his job, and this poor man didn't know anything that was going on, and the whole thing stemmed from the George Norrie show, Coast to Coast. She was trying to compete with what we were doing.
And you believed her.
Yes, I did believe her.
Why?
Because it was...
He's doing it again. He's trying to blame the listeners of Coast to Coast for tricking him. But you heard it. I've never seen a reaction like that from you guys. Nori had enough. He's like, I don't want to hear the story. I've heard the dumb story. Enough. Tell us what, man. That is a hero moment for him.
Yeah. Finally cracking down.
He did the Jimmy Kimmel Matt Damon bit on him where he's like, apologies to Matt Damon. You know, he does that at the end of every episode. He was literally just like, apologies to you. You're the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know, I'm so
He's
proud
the
of him in
worst.
that moment. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying he's the Biscardi.
Oh yeah,
Biscardi
this guy is the fucking worst. And for once, I can actually back George Norrie and be like, yeah, you did a good job taking this guy down. That, like I said, this whole story is the most I felt him come close to filling the shoes of Art Bell. Like,
and this was a long
patience.
time ago. If he could have stuck with guys like this, but there's just not enough of them out there.
They're all losing their balls.
I never heard Norrie get that confrontational with somebody before.
Yeah, it was nice.
Exactly.
He really planted his feet in this one.
He's sticking up for the listeners, man. They got really ripped off by this guy just a few nights before, and he kind of fell for it too. But Biscardi is still trying to deflect this somehow on the listeners. He doesn't let up on this, that somehow the listeners are responsible. And George finally just lets him have it.
Where do you go from here, Tom? How do you patch up now this credibility problem?
Yes, I was hoodwinked. Yes, maybe I was a little premature, but I really believed, okay? I didn't know that so many of your listeners have such incredible imaginations.
Oh, no. Don't turn it around on us and coast-to-coast audiences at all. Don't do that. Because,
Okay, well,
I will go right at you for that one.
Yeah, George.
You came on this program.
Mm-hmm.
You promised that there would be a Bigfoot.
As I was promised.
That's
correct.
Your job was to go out with your internet crew and film and videotape a Bigfoot. You charged people, God knows how much money to get that internet site. You did not promise them until you went on the air and said you had a Bigfoot. So don't turn it around and say a coast-to-coast listener duped you.
Well, call it what you want.
That's
George.
unacceptable.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Are you going to refund people for telling people to sign up for the website Friday when you said you had a Bigfoot in captivity?
I'll tell you what, George, I'm sure, okay, if that's how the feeling was, okay, and that's what they understood.
Okay.
If that's what they want, I'll stand by that.
Get him, George. But I don't know what that answer meant at the end.
It was still a gaslighting thing. It was still a very like, well, okay, if you feel that that's how it is, then I guess I'll pay that money to make you feel better.
He never really technically said he was going to give anybody a refund. That's the one thing about that.
He said if they feel
like it, then he will do that. It's like what he said. Like, all right.
That's like one of those bullshit apologies where it's like, I'm sorry that people feel this way.
Yeah, I'm sorry you got your feelings hurt.
I'm sorry you're offended.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't do anything
like,
wrong.
no offense,
I will refund your good feelings from me. By now you hate me. And now you will be refunded that feeling, and I still
with
have
hatred.
your money.
Oh, it is so awkward, though, like, the tension between these two right now. Like, I feel like they could fight in real life.
Yeah, I feel like it's less awkward and more like energizing. Like, this is like exciting.
It's like a real fight. I feel like I'm in the room with the two of them right now.
Yeah. And George keeps it really classy, and so instead of going after him, he just opens open lines, and everyone just shits on this guy for an hour.
I don't want to talk to you.
Open the floodgates.
A bunch of other people I want to talk to.
All right. No, he does that. He goes like, I've had enough of you.
I love that.
Yeah, all the callers, they put his feet to the fire and really pushes him. Finally, George at the end, he starts to push him for those refunds. Will we get him?
I think if you would refund to everybody who signed up as of that Friday when you went on the air and said that you had a Bigfoot at a compound, I think a lot of people would respect you more for that. Would you do that?
I'll sure as hell will negotiate with everybody the powers to be tomorrow.
Well, you're not saying you're going to do that.
Well, I got to check with them. I'm just one person. I have a full team that I have to negotiate with.
Okay.
I'm going to try. Let me put it to you this way. I'm going to try my best.
Do you know what that would do for your credibility?
What is this dude talking about? Who are these powers that would be in this guy's world? He's not giving that money back. His wife's probably not letting him give that money back.
Yeah, the whole team of attorneys that he had to hire,
It's
all
the
like
attorneys.
12 of them.
Spoiler alert, we've seen a documentary about this guy. He doesn't have a team. His team is literally like three of his friends.
We're going to get into. But
He's got one friend who's like who's a notary, maybe.
He doesn't have a team.
The encoders. He's got encoders.
His
left
lawyers.
and right.
He's got the lawyers, the encoders.
The sharpshooter.
It's all the same guy, Rob.
Yeah, I guess that's a team. He's got at least two guys there, so technically.
Yeah, and then there's Joan who gets in the snapples. So
his poor wife.
As much as we pushed, George stuff against George Norrie, I did think he did a good job of standing his ground and defending the Coast to Coast listeners for
he
once.
Really did.
He should be going after more of these. I guess he'll never get any guests if he does that.
Yeah.
But he still has PP Warren on the reg and lets him have his own podcast. But
I don't know, man.
I guess
Arbel managed to do it.
This one struck a nerve with him for some reason. That it's just such a big claim. You got to go for little claims that you can make wishes come true, not that you own Bigfoot and you can watch him 24/7.
Imagine if he brought this kind of energy to a Joshua P. Warren interview.
Yes, I would. Then my increase for George Norrie would increase. I would respect him more.
It would be great.
Well, mine increased a little already just from watching this whole exchange. So I didn't really know about this. And as far as Tom Biscardi goes, his credibility, it was gone after this. He can't go forward to the public with any big money-making Bigfoot scheme, but he would get others to do it for him. And that is where Rick Dyer and Matthew Whitten would come in. And remember, we heard in that first clip that 3 years later, in 2008, he would orchestrate the Bigfoot in the freezer hoax. And that's a hoax we covered pretty thoroughly in our Rick Dyer episode. It's where we talk about a 2013 documentary called Shooting Bigfoot.
Yes.
That is the one. That's
Go
the
back
one
and
that
listen
had
to episode 106, guys. That's episode
that one
106.
It had Rick Dyer messing with a British filmmaker the whole time. He was throwing ribs in his tent. But that documentary, it also featured Tom Biscardi and his new adventures post Coast to Coast shaming and failing to get any money out of Bigfoot in the freezer. In 2013, Tom Biscardi is still going strong in his decades-old search for the elusive beast. And this time, he is out to prove that he is the one true Bigfoot hunter, and he's angry about it.
You come out in the brush and you see what it's all about with me, all right? Half of you people all go by the wayside within 4 hours, or you cry for your mama in the middle of the night.
Oh, so ominous. He is now in 2013 just a man on a mission to prove that he is the one Bigfoot hunter, and he's going to take Morgan Matthews on the adventure of his life.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for Morgan necessarily, because he knew what he was getting into with this kind of thing with Americans.
He had to hear those Coast to Coast, right? He knows, he's like, yeah, you tried to trick George Norrie. Like, I know who you are.
Morgan deserves a lot of credit, the documentarian, for first for coming up with the idea to collect these three groups of guys. They really show you there's a big difference between the three groups that he works on in the that he films in this documentary. And I mean, the credibility is slightly questionable sometimes, but he's pretty good. What's his name again?
Morgan
Matthews.
It's Shooting Bigfoot, of course. They did a great job with this. A lot of props. There's a third group. So the three groups Rob's talking about is, of course, Rick Dyer and his gun. And then now we have Tom Biscardi, and we're going to meet his rogues gallery. But there's also these two kind of lovable, almost homeless-seeming guys who are just these old dudes who just got in the woods. They're not.
Are we ever going to do an episode on them?
Sure, we will. That'll be famous nice guys of the Bigfoot world.
Famous nice guys. That sounds dubious.
They were the perfect I guess polar opposite of him, because they were pure-hearted. They weren't doing this for money.
Yeah, they evened out the vibe.
They evened this whole thing out, and the pureness and the the simplicity. I don't mean it in a mean way. The simplicity of their style really balanced things out.
I was about to say they did for that what you're trying to do right now. Like they're like you're trying to like comment in the middle. It's like no, we're going after Tom Biscardi. We're all in. So. You mentioned the crew, Morgan Matthews and his Shooting Bigfoot crew. They meet up with Tom Biscardi at a hotel, and they get introduced to his crack team of Bigfoot hunters who have now assembled for an important mission.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, good to see you guys.
How are you? How are you?
Well, excellent, as you can tell. This is Youngblood. He's been with me now for 4 years. He's my chief tracker and sharpshooter, okay? Chico is, sometimes I paraphrase by saying an ex-Navy SEAL, and he keeps correcting me. Once a SEAL, always a SEAL, so I don't know how to put it to him.
Does he have special skills? And
You bet he does. Survival. He's the best.
So the guy that we're going to meet is a guy who shot.
Shot the creature. Look at the teeth here. Look at the ears. See the face and the eyes? Look at the blood right in here.
So this is what we're here to see, is it?
You bet. This is no bullshit. This is the real deal right now.
And who is this guy?
He's a business owner in town.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to go to his business right now.
And in what circumstances did he shoot the creature, do you know?
Self-defense.
Self-defense?
You scared shitless?
Yeah, duh.
Chico!
Here he is. He has found another Bigfoot body, or at least he's heard about one. But this one is for real, guys. No BS this time. Pinky swear.
Okay.
Obviously, it's from a business owner in town.
Yeah, we're gonna go to his business right now, and it's gonna settle all of your questions.
Morgan is so calm the way that he's at. So it's like, so where are we going? And this
he's so perfect to interview him.
Fucking Bigfoot. Where the fuck?
He's so perfect because
it's like relax.
Tom loves to talk to everyone like they are the stupidest person that's ever spoken. And Morgan Williams, he likes to just let them say stupid things, so he just takes all of his abuse. It's not like even he made George Norrie snap, and he can't make this guy snap. So you get to hear a completely unfiltered Tom Biscardi. So this is about to start. They're going to travel to meet this mysterious local businessman who shot Bigfoot, and they learn that they have to be cautious not to reveal this man's true identity.
I'm a little anxious about my face being out there.
I told you I'd be there for you and your family, and I'll protect you in every way I can. We'll do it with him behind you, and we'll use the name of James from Arkansas. So your family's not in harm's way, nor you. So whatever you want to do, Rocky. That's his real name. I'm sitting here with a guy named James right now in the state of Arkansas. And at this point in time, we're just going to call him James. That's the reason why you're not seeing his face. He's had a remarkable incident going on in his life. What year did this whole thing start, Rocky?
It was in February of '94.
Just a second, because you just used his name there.
Ooh, I'm sorry. Take one, take two.
Take one, take two.
Tom is determined to dox this guy. This is such a bumbling interview. He not only says the name in the beginning, he's like, he's Rocky's his real name. When they're doing the actual interview, he's like, we got this guy, he's blurred out.
All right,
we're
so
not going to say his name. We were filming from behind him. So, Rocky, will you tell us? Whoa. That was the first time. Chico's going to chime in, too. We're going to take two now. And come on, Tom Biscardi, try and not say this guy's name, please.
It was in February of 1994 when I saw what looked like a shadow. I saw a face. It was coming for me. I fired 3 shots. It was so close that it hit the end of my gun.
Did you take anything off of this body of this creature?
I pulled some hair out of his ass.
What was going through your mind as I know you're trying to get freed, because you didn't care. All you want to do is get freed. All right?
I don't mean to interrupt you, but you said his name again.
I never said Rocky once. Did I say Rocky?
I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it neither. Did you hear it? No. Nobody heard it. Please, Chico. Do you want to give the interview? No. Otherwise, will you please shut up? You promised me you weren't going to talk, so please shut the fuck up. All right.
Such an asshole.
Now, here's the deal, because I got a ton of things to do, and I can't jack jaws all fucking night long. All right, so can we just get this done, please? Where were we?
Oh, man. You called, poor Chico. But Tom is right. Yeah. I listened to this a few times. He doesn't say Rocky in that clip.
It's true. He does not.
He just dressed down a Navy SEAL survival master in front of everyone like that. That is not right. He completely emasculated poor Chico.
Justice for Chico.
And Chico's also like a 70-year-old dude who looks like the nicest old man you would ever see. I don't know why he's got dragged along on this.
Did you guys think that he was going to be like, you're leading the witness? The way that he like was stopping him from, it was like, it felt like he was like, you're telling too much of the story. I thought he was going to say something like that and try to give him some like interviewing technique, but he was literally just calling him out for a mistake that he didn't make.
I mean, for sure. Like, okay, so he was wrong. Chico was wrong in that.
Chico was very wrong.
Mr. Biscardi didn't call him by that name, but he still didn't deserve to be addressed like that, even if he is a SEAL, always a SEAL. Any person, even if it was an assistant, you don't talk to them like that.
Chico is like the punching bag, the piñata of this team. It's like Tom Tom feels like he can rip him just at any moment, any opening
can't wait to rip
he
him
sees.
to shreds.
The first time they showed him, though, when they introduced him and Youngblood, that's the team, the full team, Chico, Youngblood, and Tom. I don't know why Tom doesn't have a cool name. But when they first introduced him, I thought his whole shtick was he didn't talk, because they showed him and he was just like, he did like a silent man routine.
Well, you know what, Rob? Maybe Tom is so abusive that he's afraid to talk.
They were in the car together. I bet he was like, Chico, when I introduce you, you just smile and look at the camera. I don't know what you're saying, anything stupid, because you're always going to say something dumb.
When he yelled at him, he was even like, you promised you weren't going to talk. So shut the fuck up.
We've been over
it's like when they
Chico.
talked about this, they were like, listen, Chico, you just keep your fucking mouth shut the whole entire time. I don't want you to say anything. You just stand there, dude.
This whole expedition, I don't see what the point is. So this is the first thing, is they go and meet this guy. And there's some weird little interstitials where Tom Biscardi, he mentions a few times that this very well might be his last Bigfoot expedition. He has 7 stints in his heart. This dude could drop at any time. Chico might outlive him, but he still finds
Chico's
time.
70, by the way. Chico's in his 70s, at least, right?
Chico Wild.
He looks like he's in his 70s.
I would say like 60s, but I mean, I'm really bad at this.
Bad 60s, fuck.
I don't know. Like, people are
He's an old man. He's an elderly man. Okay, Chico. Sure. I'm sorry, Russ. I'm sorry.
He's definitely an elderly man.
But even with the clock winding down on Tom Biscardi's life, he still finds time to show his disdain for other people in the Bigfoot field.
You hear about people, I'm a Bigfoot researcher, I'm a Bigfoot hunter, I'm a Bigfoot this, I'm a Bigfoot, I'm a cryptozoologist. Crypto my ass. Listen, The name of the game is this. You either heel and toe it down that street and you go out into the brush and look, or you'll never find anything.
Yeah, crypto my ass. Get on my level, Laura Coleman, okay?
Get in that bush.
Play soundboard. I don't know. I missed a couple of soundboard clips. You got to catch us up, because I know I did something with that hair on the ass.
I pulled some hair out of his ass.
You know,
I can't believe you said that.
Why do you pull hair out of its ass?
Because that's going to be where nobody else would look there, so you know that it's going to be like it's going to have.
You can get a lot of different stuff off that sample. That sample's got all kind of different. It's got the wetness,
bacteria,
it's got everything,
all kinds of wetness.
His ass stuck out. I seen his ass.
So I grabbed his ass.
Took the hair. I had to bring it to Huckleberry to analyze it. Yeah, but yeah, we got to get on his level. Play the crypto one.
Crypto my ass.
Oh, I will.
I don't know why that's so funny. It's like the title that this whole field has been given and try to bring some legitimacy to. It's called cryptozoology. Crypto my ass. It's about going out there and finding that monkey man.
Russ,
get out
I got a good joke finally. I think I finally have a good one. Everybody's trying to get me to buy Dogecoin. You know what I say?
Crypto my ass.
Oh, okay, that's relevant. Good one.
I'm in.
Thank you.
I take it you have not bought any crypto. That's fine.
And if you want to send us a few Dogecoin, we'll probably take them. But we'll say, even if you give us any crypto, we'll just say
crypto my ass.
Yeah, whatever. I'll take it.
Yeah.
So back to this guy and his team. This team assembles. In the first mission, they have to go to some guy's backyard. And this is another secretive guy. This is not Rocky, who is going to lead them to capture a Bigfoot. And here is the big plan.
So, without any further ado, tell the guys what your plans are for tonight.
We're going to be watching the skies. We're going to be listening with audio equipment. If everything goes right, we hope to prove that science fiction has become science reality.
This is my 357 Magnum. This is a biopsy gun. This is a heat seeker. This is the holy grail, a TI, a thermal imager. If anything has any blood running through it, it will be seen here on this thing. You're going to see the best of the best in action. And if we play our cards right, we just may pop one of these things. No.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
We capture one, you know.
What, alive?
Alive, yeah. What do you think those taser guns do? What do you think the tranquilizer guns do? We want to get it alive. Now, in self-defense comes, that's something different.
Are you going to be carrying a gun on your hip, though, Tom?
You bet your sweet ass.
Yeah, they show the arsenal that this Bigfoot team has, and it's wild. You know, Rick Dyer, we talked some smack because he went and bought that one rifle illegally. This guy, Tom, could start a militia with what he brought out there to pop Bigfoot and capture him alive.
Well, he has Youngblood with him.
Yeah. Some person. I don't know why he has that reaction like that. He immediately acted guilty when he's like, "What do you mean pop?" Like, "Oh, well, what do you think the tasers are for?" I'm like,
He
"You
has
don't
so many
pop
guns.
people with tasers."
They showed a pile of knives, like hunting knives. There looked like 15 of them. Just 4 guys. Was Chico just armed to the teeth with knives
He's
just
gonna
everywhere?
Putting them between his fingers like Wolverine.
Yeah, or throwing them like a circus performer. I don't know.
He's gonna fucking tase Bigfoot. You're gonna tase Bigfoot. Why are you gonna tase Bigfoot?
There's
dude?
no way in hell that would work.
The smell,
unless
could you imagine?
Just fucking leave him alone. Don't tase
They're all
Bigfoot.
racking shotguns, and they've got hunting rifles and pistols. They've got so much stuff. I was really surprised. I was like, wow, how did they get all these guns here for this? But the guy who's leading this expedition, there's just this like weenie dude named David who's like, I want to go out and I'm going to record the UFOs humming, and I'm going to record Bigfoot. He makes everyone turn the lights off. So
David.
they go.
Oh yeah, that poor guy.
They go with this guy. They go with him into the Bigfoot-infested forest in the dead of night, and David, he's there. He's trying to record the Bigfoot sounds. He wants to find low-frequency UFO hum. It is a very, very uneventful hunt. They hear a plane. Chico falls in water, and doesn't think about all that would happen in this whole thing.
Chico, he did.
No.
The laughter was so aggravating. The way that this Tom guy laughs at Chico falling in the water, I wanted to punch him in the back
Like
of the head.
it's one thing where like
laugh so much.
Oh, God.
right? Doesn't it sound malicious, Alex? It's like this.
Oh my God!
It's one thing to like laugh and find something funny, but the way he keeps on with it is like this schadenfreude that's just crazy.
And the worst part about it is that David is like, guys, be quiet. You're gonna scare Bigfoot.
Hey, cut the laughter.
Guys, stop laughing. And meanwhile, Tom is like,
You don't know.
like cackling like a fucking joker.
So what happens is, yes, Chico does fall in the water, very much Huckleberry style. It was very funny, but the laughing is so next level. But it's even worse later, because here is Tom Biscardi. The next morning after this, he's calling his wife to give her an update.
I love you, darling. I had to call you. I've been here cooped up with a bunch of psychopaths, but I survived the night. Chico fell in the water. We were zigging and he zagged. Listen, you know the cuckoo's nest that what's his name was in? They all escaped and they're all with me right now. I got every cuckoo bird in the world with me, man. They sit here and they go goo goo gaga.
Yep. That's it.
All of these people are in earshot, and Tom is just laughing in their face like a maniac. It's like, who's the real cuckoo here?
I've been dying to bring that up since we started.
It's like, how is he laughing so long? And then it gets even funnier for him as the seconds go by that they're sitting here going goo goo gaga.
And nobody else. Nobody else is laughing.
I want to call him Huckleberry. Chico and Huckleberry now have an association because they both fall in water. And then, but then Huckleberry didn't get laughed at like this. The laughing is so maniacal from Tom Biscardi. He's a maniac.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe him, a maniac, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you guys just found an Unbelievers podcast shirt.
What is that?
Which is Huckleberry and Chico falling in water.
Yeah.
Huckleberry versus Chico. Who's better at falling in water?
Oh, no. They fall into a puddle and they fall in love. I think this is a good route to
I don't
go.
think these two could fight each other. They would fall in love.
Guys, we're workshopping it.
I love it. I like where it's going.
So this little laugh fest, this was just at a gas station where he's laughing in front of all his team's faces to his wife, telling them they're all cuckoos. But while they're en route to their next big, hot Bigfoot lead, that guy who was trying to record the Bigfoot sounds, David, he is part of this caravan that Tom is leading to just, I don't know what the plan is. They're going from some Bigfoot hotspot to hotspot. And this guy, David, he gets in a really bad accident. His truck is run off the road. There was another car toppled over. This whole thing was nuts. And, they come to see like, whoa, what's going on? Like, and he's like, David's like, go on without me. I have to get an X-ray. I felt so bad for this guy because Tom almost talked this guy into coming with him, and then they just leave him there. You know, did you guys see that?
Yeah, no, and the vibe that I got from the whole thing is that he almost kind of was taking it as an opportunity to exit. He was like, no, go on without me.
It reminded me of Forrest Gump.
I got to get x-rays.
It reminded me of Forrest
go.
Gump when the dude gets shot. He's like, go on without me. And then Forrest Gump picks him up. But in this case, they never picked him.
No, in this case, he really did not want it. No, he didn't want to be picked up. He's like, no, please go.
In Forrest Gump, he would have died if they left him. But
he could have gone with them. He was like, my shoulder's a little hurt, but I don't know. You guys just go on anyway. But Tom could care less about this guy because here's the reaction to hearing about David getting in a bad accident.
Okay, let's go. Let's come on. We're late. Linguini and Clams is waiting.
Wow.
I don't want her to leave the restaurant. All right, come on, we gotta go. It's a near-death experience. What do you want me to do? I can't. There's no florist. I can't send any flowers. He didn't die, thank God. He's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole.
When he said linguini and clams are waiting, I thought that was like a code word or some kind of expression. No, the next scene, they are all eating linguini and clams. They dish this guy to go eat.
He was just really hungry. He just wanted to go eat at an Italian restaurant.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was also kind of like just a code name for like, I don't know.
Like whoever their next secret contact was like, oh, we got to go see linguini and clams.
For some reason, I knew it was just linguini and clams when he said that.
I felt the same way.
I just knew. I was like,
honestly,
he's definitely going to go eat a big bowl of linguini right now.
Yeah,
in a backwards baseball hat.
I mean, that guy might have just driven off the side of the road and crashed himself. Like, I got to get out of this documentary. I look like really terrible.
It was really bad. His whole front end,
the rollovers.
The whole front end of the car was ripped in half. Like the guy was like, "I'm gonna go to the hospital and get an X-ray on my shoulder. I think I'm okay." Like it was bad. It was a legitimate bad car accident. And
I think he did it on purpose. And
there was an upside down truck.
Oh man, and that poor guy, like we didn't really talk about it, but even that guy's got like his wife like hates him because he Bigfoot hunts so much, and there's
poor guy.
So like that seems to be
they've mended it.
That seems to be a thing though, like amongst the Bigfoot hunting community, is that like eventually at some point your wife is kind of like, all right, enough.
He
of this
realized.
shit.
I think he realized that Morgan Matthews filmed him saying things like, "Yeah, my wife wish I spent more time with the family. Everyone thinks I'm crazy." He realized, oh, this guy's recording all this. He's going to use it. I'm just going to drive off the road. Hopefully, I kill myself, but. At least if I survive, maybe I could just get out of further embarrassment.
Yeah. The documentary dips into dark territory sometimes when you don't expect it to, and you're like, all right, let's get back to like
he keeps everything in. I don't think the filmmaker should have kept in when he said the dude's name Rocky. Like, I don't think he was kind of like. And
I mean, to be honest, have you tracked down Rocky? I don't think that we're able to.
Yes, I did, because I on accident, I looked at Tom Biscardi's website and I looked at his team, and there's a dude named Rocky on his team. I'm like, this guy's just on his team.
This makes sense.
Yeah. Well, now his life is ruined.
Well, at least Tom protected his family. Like he said he would. He made sure his family would be okay after the interview.
David was just a guy he begged to come with him. He can go die on the side of the road.
Why does his family have to be worried about him doing an interview about Bigfoot? I don't understand.
Well, you know how the angry moms
really
come
gonna
after
know.
the
Like, people are
families.
gonna see this, and now he's like, "Oh man, like I thought I was just doing this and no one knew." It's like people are gonna watch this. All right.
Gosh,
well,
I'm
David's
sorry.
out of the picture though. He's got his own shame to deal with. But on to linguini and clams, because after a nice, just light and healthy meal of linguini and clams, this whole team of old men, they head off into the woods again on a Bigfoot lead, and Tom makes a remarkable discovery.
You saw something here.
They were kind of...
I'm getting a sense right now that what we've got here is possibility of having our hairy friends here, but the different version. The smaller version. You see this? See the wetness? Smell it. Smell it. It sat down to take a dump. And here it is, okay? It's right there. This is a great area to surveil. We set the cameras, we set the bait, then we got to spray the area with scent to mask our human scent.
Scent?
Yeah.
What kind of scent?
Cougar urine. It's painstaking work, but somebody's got to do it, right?
These guys are covering themselves in cougar urine, and, whoa, there we go. We found some poop from a little baby Bigfoot and a little bit of wetness.
But what about the wetness?
I'm sorry, Rob. You're going to have to play Soundboard 5. I think Tom Biscardi just entered the voicemail soundboard contest.
You see this? See the wetness? Smell it.
Yeah, that was 2 in 1.
Don't
Threw
you
an
smell
extra one. He
it?
threw an extra one in there at the end.
Smell it.
Smell it.
Wow.
Really smell it.
He is actually, Tom Biscardi is in the lead right now. I just want to go on record. You guys better step up that voicemail game. All right. But yeah, the wetness, there's even more wetness because after they douse themselves in pee, they set up trail cameras and they start spreading peanut butter and they put bananas like all over the woods and they're hoping to get some kind of glimpse of Bigfoot on the camera or find a print. And then the next morning, when Tom searches the area, he finds something.
Come here. Come here. This side. Don't get out of there. Holy fuck. Come here. Come here. Remember, we're looking at juveniles. Look here. Look at the toes. Look at this print right here. Oh, God. Okay, here. You don't move. Listen to me. Hey, pay attention.
My name is Chico.
Okay. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You just fucking pay attention now, okay? Pay attention.
Scaring them all away.
Fuck them. They're gone. You just listen to me. You see what you got here? You had 2 juveniles.
I see it.
This is the left print. You see the toes? See the impression here?
Yeah.
That's a primate print, man. Oh, God. He had a piece of peanut butter in his hand, drops it here, didn't like it. See it?
No, he didn't.
There's ants over it. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Is this Anthony? Yes, sir. Well, we got a print here, son. It's a juvenile.
It's a juvenile.
Yep, just like you said.
Awesome, man.
How long before you get here?
5 minutes.
Do me a favor, get me a Diet Peach Snapple and a glass of ice.
Okay.
All right, bye. Thanks. Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
He loves his Diet Peach Snapple, but poor Chico. Alex, again, Chico gets to the business just minding his own business. He was just standing there.
I know. Justice for Chico. I keep saying
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. He's the real hero of this story.
Hashtag justice for Chico.
That was pretty abusive, the way that he yelled at him right there. I don't
crazy.
know. It seemed like a little unnecessary. Chico didn't do anything. Literally,
he doesn't. He was just looking at what he's
person.
He is. What you guys can all attest because you watch Shooting Bigfoot. What he's looking at is nothing. It's just the ground. It's no discernible print. It's nothing. He's like, Chico, look at this, you dumbass. Look, it's a baby, 2 baby Bigfoot. He's like, what? He's like, stupid. Look.
I felt that when he said, "My name is Chico," and whatever he was like, "My name is Chico," and you don't talk to me like that or something. Whatever he said, like, oh man, I really felt that. Like, ouch, dude.
This guy's the worst. He really is the worst.
Like I have a name. Jesus.
Fuck, dude.
Just
My name's Jeff.
He's ordering a guy on the phone. He's like, yeah. So how far away? He's like, about 5 minutes. Like, I want a Diet Peach Snapple.
That's his son, isn't it?
Like, who has that shit ready? Wherever the fuck they are.
He wants a glass.
Yeah, and a glass of ice.
In the woods, you want a glass of ice.
Asshole.
What the fuck? What are you talking about, dude?
See, he thinks because there's cameras that he's all
I'm
Hollywood.
usually at a house.
Let me go home and get a glass, Dad. I'll be right back. And
Joe, go get me a Snapple.
And a crazy straw, please. But
What does that say about you, though, if your choice, your go-to Snapple is a Diet Peach Snapple?
It means you're this Bigfoot asshole.
It says that you're trying to lose weight and it ain't working.
You're an absolute maniac.
You're all right.
That's some good words, because that's it for Tom Biscardi's involvement in any of this. They show another night of this team, but he doesn't even go on the next night.
Oh, my God. I love that. That he didn't even get... They were like, Chico and Tom are too tired.
They're just
not
worn
come
out.
tonight.
They
They're
can't
just gonna
do
hang
this.
out in the hotel room. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're worn out, all right.
That's what the whole documentary was leading up to this. Now you guys are going to not come out?
Tired
it
of
became
shit.
the rest of Rick Dyer's story, which was much better, in which we did.
Yeah.
True.
His footprint of baby Bigfoot, it looked like absolute nothing. He leaves this whole thing not proving anything except that he's one of the biggest jerks I've ever seen in the Bigfoot field. I hate this guy, but he was very, very clippable. I had to stop myself because everything he said was gold. So since this whole documentary came out, Tom Biscardi, he hasn't really done that much. His website looks like it was last updated around 2014. Alex, I know you got to take a look at his website. What did you think of it?
It's horrendous. It's worse than an Angel Fire website.
That's saying a lot.
It looked like he updated it sometime when this came out, right? Like it's been just in stasis since about 2013.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's just a lot of ads for his radio show, which is 14 years on air, longest running Bigfoot podcast, webcast, not even podcast.
He doesn't even have the right
Wednesday,
words.
7 to 8.
My goodness.
Wow. He's using that same
rough.
webcam out in the woods that the Coast to Coast people paid for a long time ago.
Yikes.
Like somehow he's still getting $14 a month that they forgot to unsubscribe for.
It's
like
Joan
15
paying
years ago.
$14 a month.
It's awful. It's all just like low res garbage. You can't even. It's impossible to navigate. But he does have a new movie coming out called Brutal Bigfoot. Pray you don't find him.
Okay. Yeah. That honestly,
Brutal
I'm a
Bigfoot.
little bit more worried for the crew around him than I am excited for this.
I'm sure it's going to be brutal.
maybe.
It's probably
Yeah,
going to be
exactly.
very brutal to watch. I can guarantee that. Yeah, dude. Fuck this guy.
Well, that's good to know. It's good
rough.
to know.
Yeah, I hate this guy so much.
Well, thank you. And it's good to know that he is still out there. And I hope he's not just yelling at Chico and looking for baby poop. And I got to say, I'm kind of a little turned around. So I'm going to make this week's poll something a little different. This week's poll, should Tom Biscardi be in the SOS Hall of Fame instead of Rick Dyer? Should we switch them out? That is
like
this week's
this
poll.
I feel like it's
Thank
going to
you.
get very controversial, but let's do it.
We will switch them out if you think he is way more deserving, because we did get a little blowback from Rick Dyer being in there. But if Tom Biscardi, if he wants to represent Bigfoot hunters, if you think that's the case, go to unbelieverspodcast.com and answer this week's poll. Before we go, Alex Curry, thank you so much for being on. Do you have anything you need to say or plug before you go?
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, I have I started my own podcast. It's super fun. It's super dumb.
Okay.
It's we're called the Soft Shoulder Podcast. It's myself and my friend Stacy Spruill, and we just talk about like yacht rock. Do you guys know?
Oh my
yacht rock?
God.
Of course.
Awesome. Yes. I love that. Oh, I'm so on board. No pun intended.
Nice. Okay.
So we just like kind of go into like deep dives into
Oh, fuck
bands
yeah.
like Hall & Oates, Chicago,
Yes.
Loggins and Messina,
Yes.
America, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
You're talking my type of music right there.
Oh
man.
God, I'm so excited about this.
Well, there
I
we
love
go. Yeah, we're still getting used to it, but we're brand new. So anyways, yeah, it's just on Instagram at Soft Shoulder Podcast.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Well, thank you so
absolutely
much.
ridiculous.
I can't wait to hear this. I really can. This sounds really fun. But we're going to get out of this segment now. We're going to get out here on a positive note with the Bigfoot Classic by you, Alex Curry, AC $. It's Bigfoot Dick in honor of this dick, Tom Biscardi.
Also, Brian, we don't even know if Bigfoot has a dick. Bigfoot's not so lonely anymore. He's got Kevin. He's got Kevin in his arms.
Yeah.
Kev.
Yeah, well,
That's pretty cool. He doesn't have. We don't know about his dick though, Kev.
I don't give a damn.
You don't care.
No.
Now let me tell you about the time that I lived with Sasquatch. Our time together was truly top-notch. Short's the word, and I couldn't stay long. Something wasn't right and something felt wrong. He was kind, polite, a real stand-up dude. Always bringing me berries, always sharing his food. What's mine was his, and what's his was mine. And this is what it's like when the stars collide. Like brothers, we were working the land. He was
Oh, so cool to have the one and only AC $, Alex Curry, as a guest tonight,
best.
as our co-host. That was a lot of fun, right, guys?
It's awesome. And he needs to come back and he needs to be here for poll results at some point in the future.
He was great. It was very nice to talk to Alex. Finally, after all, like literally years of knowing
All
this
this
guy, we
time.
got to talk to him. So
Yeah, it was really cool.
Very
really
cool.
cool. So what was you guys' final thoughts, though? We didn't really, we kind of got to the end there. What was your final thoughts on Tom Biscardi, Drea? What do you think of the guy? You think he should replace Rick Dyer in the SOS Hall of Fame, or maybe there's room for both? What do you think?
Yes, no, there's no room for both. Like, I feel that the SOS Hall of Fame is a very small place that's only for a special few absolutely horrible people. And yeah, Rick Dyer wasn't quite that level of asshole. And it was just through strictly that comparison, you know,
But
like
is Tom
this guy's the
Biscardi
asshole.
worthy, though?
Absolutely. Like, this is the guy that
okay.
should have been there instead of Rick Dyer.
I kind of got turned around on that too, on really focusing on Tom Biscardi. I realized that he is actually a lot worse. I mean, he's like kind of the mastermind. And he even tried to challenge George Norrie, tried to throw the Coast to Coast listeners under the bus. He completely ripped them off in kind of an epic way of tricking millions of people to go on his. One of the people that called said that they looked at his like analytics and that he had like 9 million hits the night he was on.
Holy shit. Wow.
On his website.
And yet it was the fault. It was well, you guys built up the anticipation, so really it's your fault for getting excited. He's worse than Stan Romanek except for the whole, pedophilia thing.
That's where he gets that money to give to Rick Dyer to the $50K to be able to fake another Bigfoot and make even more money. That's probably where it came
other
from.
hoaxers. So he's the source of the bad shit. He definitely needs to be in there. Rick Dyer should be let out now that we put him in.
You're saying free Rick Dyer, get Tom Biscardi in there. What are your thoughts, Rob, on that as far as the poll goes? Because this will be the poll this week. Should they switch places in there? Should they both be in there or other? What do you think, Rob?
Well, I want to be clear. I'm not turning into a Rick Dyer defender or anything like that. But the one thing that did make me appreciate Rick a little bit more is that in the clip when the dog gets hurt, the weird dude in the forest has this dog, and the dog shows up, and the dog's got this insane wound on its neck. It's extremely graphic, way more graphic than I even imagined that it was going to be from listening to the episode. And what Rick does, it made me like him a little more because he rips his shirt off his own back.
He rips his shirt,
tears it into pieces, and wraps it around this poor dog who is definitely going to get an infection regardless.
Yeah.
And
it was pretty bad already.
It was very bad. And the dog needed to go to the vet. And Rick at least did the only thing that he could do in this situation was cover it with the only thing that he had, which is his shirt. And it did kind of add a comedic value to the rest of the episode because from there on, Rick was completely naked, basically.
He couldn't wear a shirt after that.
He didn't have any shirt. I don't even think he had pants.
Very much resembled Huckleberry at that point.
He had no pants on the whole time. He was in his underwear, I believe.
Just boxers,
yeah. So I don't know what happened to his pants, but it made me like him more that he was nice to the dog. I still think that he's a shithead because if you watch to the end of the documentary, it does just end with him starting a whole nother scam and more successful this time. More even
the Alamo Draft House scam where he went around to all the Alamo Draft House with another Bigfoot body. But the only thing did you bring up the dog story? The only thing comparable in the story of Tom Biscardi is when his friend gets run off the side of the road. He's like, look, we got to go get linguine and clams. We don't have time for our friend who might be mortally wounded and his car is completely destroyed. We got to go. We got to go get our lunch.
He
and that's
said
all he
he's
did.
fine. We're hungry.
So,
Bye.
I'm not saying, I don't think there's no hope for Rick. I think that Rick, there is from what he did with that dog, showing that there is a good guy in there. But there also there is an asshole also in there as well. But Tom is just 100% asshole because Tom is one of those guys who everywhere he goes, it seems like every person that he comes into contact with, he ends up arguing with them at some point.
Steps on their backs and uses them he just doesn't give a shit.
He ends up just yelling at every single person he comes into contact with throughout the whole documentary. And obviously also George Norrie.
Oh, Rob, if he met you at some point, he'd be asking you, not even asking, he'd be yelling at you to go get him a fucking Snapple.
Oh, he would. He definitely would be yelling.
The Dyer Peach Snapple, the glass of ice. He is the worst to try to even bully George Norrie and how he really pushed that agenda that the Coast to Coast listeners and even George Norrie, the most patient man in radio, we got to hear him snap, which I'm very grateful for that. I didn't think we'd ever hear something that real come out of George Norrie. So a lot of fun. Go answer that poll, but man, polls. We got to go answer this week's poll. Let's do it now. Everyone's third favorite segment, poll results. This week's poll, what's the strangest thing about the Amish? And the choices were the no-face dolls, the shunning, switching between languages, electricity forbidden, or other. I'm going to ask you, Drea Mora, what do you think the Unbelievers said?
Faceless dolls. I mean, you can have no technology, but you can still have dolls with faces. That's the weirdest part.
All right. How about you, Rob?
Clearly, the faceless dolls. Clearly.
Wow.
Has to be.
Congratulations. This is a rare one. Both of you guys with 10% of the
All
vote.
right.
Unanimous. No other votes or anything. The dolls with no faces, that comes in as the winner. But of course, there are others. What's the strangest thing about the Amish? Took the face off my Jermaine doll when it got too ooey gooey. Painted on some cheetah stripes and call her Battle Cat now. Signed, The Machinist. Oh, thank you, Machinist. I don't know what a Jermaine doll is, but it got, what did it get?
It was so English, så var så hardgørig, but Ibnet havde vi kender but in love falder med tars.
Thank you, Machinist, so much. What's the strangest thing about the Amish? We have, big trucking and butt fucking. Signed, hey, AC dollar sign. Oh, our co-host for tonight. Oh,
my favorite.
He did chime in. I think he wrote the same thing last week, too. What is going on? I think he's creating a bit. Big trucking and butt fucking. What's the strangest thing about the Amish? Shamalama mala mula bada bing bang boom. I went the cows because they were cows, because they were mooing and they moo. Signed, having another Amish stroke. Unbeliever Carol there. I don't know what she wanted. Play one of those for us.
If he hits Agris, he hits Haas normally the date immediately.
What?
Immediately. Thank you.
And I'm pretty sure she wanted this one.
We went out to check the cows. We had some cows that were about to calve.
She gave us the Pennsylvania Dutch translation of that. Thank you so much, Unbeliever Carol. What's the strangest thing about the Amish? About that hole. Is this a real show? Signed, Green Finhawk. We don't know, but...
yeah, about that hole.
Thank you, Green Finhawk, because we're still wondering ourselves.
Is this a real show?
What is the strangest thing about the Amish? Thanks, Green Finhawk. What's the strangest thing about the Amish? If you road trip through Pennsylvania, you find out Amish soap is made of tourists, and tourists are made from Amish sugar cookies. Oh, but you didn't sign off. That's a really good one.
Man,
I like
that was a really good one.
I like the tourists being made of sugar cookies and then made into soap. Yeah. What is the strangest thing about the Amish? The way their beards split and trail behind them like extra arms when they Naruto run. Okay. Signed, JP from Texas. No clips. Not necessary.
It's a good
Thanks,
vision. I can imagine
JP from Texas for that great visual. What's the strangest thing about the Amish? What goes clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, silence? A drive-by shunning. Signed, The Bookish Man. Oh,
right,
I
that's
get
my
it.
favorite right now.
All right. Okay. That was good. Rob approves because he puts... That's not the silence, but that's after. A drive-by shunning. Wow, that's actually pretty good, Bookish
How
Man.
do you put a silence in there?
Bookish Man, you're in my lead right now.
You might be thinking, horse? Monster?
Drive-by shunning. What's the strangest thing about the Amish? Bowls of hot gooey. Signed, Pants Filler. We knew the hot gooey was coming.
It was so English, så var så hardgørig, but Ibnet havde vi kender but in love falder med tars.
Yeah,
and that second
for
part
sure.
means play the bowls clip. That's what she was actually saying. She was saying,
do you have any bowls?
Yeah, that is the translation. Thank you so much to the guy who will be
throwing up and filling my pants.
Man, Pants Filler. Always drop in great little loads of humor on our poll results. We always appreciate you, Pants Filler. You're a long time. We love it. What's the strangest thing about the Amish? Those dang rump sprinklers. Signed, Dover Demon Daddy. I don't know what he's talking about. Rump sprinklers. Help me out. Rump Springer. Okay, rump sprinklers.
Rump sprinklers. That's as much as I can guess.
I got it. Thank you, Dover Demon Daddy. What's the strangest thing about the Amish? Each toy seems prologue to seem so great to miss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt. It spills itself in fearing to be split. Signed, Willie Shakespeare. Thank you, Willie Shakespeare.
Okay, wow. I like it. I like it. That was really deep.
Sophisticated bit.
I like that Willie Shakespeare can really kind of class up poll results. Kind of needs it sometimes.
We do need it.
It becomes kind of the toilet segment on the show. It gets very, very.
I like the way you said that. I was going to class up.
That's fucking awesome. Thank you, Willie Shakespeare.
Class up our toilet.
What's the strangest thing about the Amish? It's the beans they're full of. Signed, fuck you, Beverly. There we go. Back to the normal poll results.
Good. Yeah, but my mother thought I was full of beans, so...
All right. Thank you so much to the person who wants the Frankenstein clip of...
Fuck you, Beverly.
I'll never like that. I don't know why. What's the strangest thing about the Amish? Probably the self-important paranoid that Satan is constantly attempting to corrupt them. That'd be my guess. Signed, Ethel Merman.
Okay.
You're right, Ethel.
Keep
Ethel
it real.
Merman, taking it serious. Yes, they are very paranoid that Satan is constantly attempting to corrupt them. And they'll take any means necessary to stop that. What's the strangest thing about the Amish? How they replaced this year's Art Bell tribute show. Oh, and you didn't sign off. Hold on. I want to say,
Really?
yes, Art's passing happened recently, and I didn't really come out and say it, but I didn't want to do a show on his death day. I would rather celebrate his birthday, which is coming up this summer. Our Art Bell tribute is coming this summer. I just didn't want to be that morose. It's stick to
Let's
the
celebrate
death day.
life, not the
Let's
death date, yeah.
celebrate the life day. But thanks for chiming in and letting us know that you're looking for Art Bell content. Hey, you got a ton of George Norrie. I'm sure you hated that.
Yeah, might as well
You
give
are
him.
abnormal.
Yeah, very abnormal.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just figured I'd throw him at Art.
What's the strangest thing about the Amish? I like the way that they TED Talk, but can have they a Mr. Potato Head toy without the face parts? Keep the feet, though. Signed, Russ of Yorkshire. Russ of Yorkshire, you're confusing me, but he did like the way they... What?
Carrying a TED Talk.
Right, but they can have a Mr. Potato Head toy without the face parts. Oh, I get it. Oh,
Yeah,
so the
what are they
Amish
gonna-
can
what's it
have
gonna do
Mr.
without any
Potato
feet?
Head. Yeah, they just can't have the face parts. They can keep the feet, though. Okay, Amish Potato Head. They just have a potato, yeah, with some old shoes.
An actual potato, yeah.
Russ from Yorkshire making us think, too. Thank you so much. I love Russ of Yorkshire. What's the strangest thing about the Amish? Electricity is a devil! But I'm going to stick my dick in this plug socket while I make these totally fun, not lame toys. Signed. Wow, really going after him. Signed, Voodoo. You are right. Electricity is
Very
a devil, but yeah. He sticks his dick in there
Just put
anyway.
your
We don't
dick
have a
in
clip
it.
for that. I don't know. Do we have some kind of toys clip? Play, I don't know, give him like a squid head or something.
Skeletor, the master of the universe.
Right, he could have been down there making that. You know, that's not a lame toy. Thank you, Voodoo. What's the strangest thing about the Amish? I can't tell if the hot, gooey battle cat is Amish or Enochian light language. Either way, it's pretty hot. Signed, the Wombat Preservationist. I don't know. Wait, what kind of battle cat is he talking about? It's a hot
It
gooey?
was so English, så var så hotgooey, but ibland havde vi kunnat börja lov parlamentariskt.
But he's not sure if he's getting it confused with this, another language that we really love on this show. Okay, sure. That's a great light language and a Bigfoot one, too. Thank you, Wombat Preservationist. Amazing. What's the strangest thing about the Amish? Amish my power tools and radio. Signed, the Amish guy / Mothman mother. Okay, I guess that's what the Amish guy's saying.
he's
Right?
got
Amish
the-
my power tools and radio. He needs those things.
He gets the internet, too.
Thank you, Mothman Mother. What is the strangest thing about the Amish? Final one for tonight. There was this bowl, and it was finely crafted by the Amish. But it led me to the devil, and he made me fill it with his hot gooiness. His hot gooiness. Signed, Blue Box UFO. Not yours? What's going on here, Blue Box UFO? Really taking us back to the toilet where we belong, but give him his clip.
We went to this room. There was this bowl on this table, and I was supposed to ejaculate into the bowl.
Yeah,
what was in the bowl? What was
It
in
was
the
finely
bowl?
crafted, but it was
Hot
full
gooey.
of what?
It was so English, så var så hotgooey, but ibland havde vi kunnat börja lov parlamentariskt.
And Russ, I forgot. I have one more this week. There was one more person who sent us a poll result, but they said that they
shoot.
couldn't fit it. I just remembered. It just struck into my brain here. I'll just do this live. It was from Nuka.
Nuka-Cola, my blood is in it, sure.
And I believe that they said, my poll result won't fit in a sign-off. Please know, the Amish sugar cookie poll is from me.
Okay, so that was
nice.
that was Mothman Mother. That was a very good one involving cookies.
Okay.
It reminded me of. I have a little clip for her. How about we get a little Ivan Teller talking about that?
Is it the keyboard elf? Is the cookie elf?
Thank you for reminding me of that. Wow, that might actually Get you way in the lead.
Holy crap, I don't remember that one at all.
Oh, I remember the cookie elf.
So many great ones. I'm going to go through them real quick. We had the Machinist with took the face off my Jermaine doll when it got to Ooey Gooey, painted on some cheetah stripes, and call her Battle Cat now. We had AC $sign with Big Truckin' and Butt Fucking. We had Unbeliever Carol with Shamalama Mala Mula Bada Bing Dang Boom. I went the crows because they were cows, because they're mooing and they moo. We had Green Finhawk with about that hole. Is this a real show? We you didn't sign off. I'm not gonna read it. We had JP from Texas with the way their beards split and trail behind them like extra arms when they Naruto run. We had the Bookish Man with what goes clip clop clip clop clip clop silence, a drive-by shunning. We had
That's
Pants
pretty
Filler.
good. Bookish Man, I like that this week,
That's
dude.
my favorite.
We had Pants Filler with bowls of hot gooey. We had the Dover Demon Daddy with those dang rump sprinklers. We had Willie Shakes P with each toy seems prologue to some great amiss, so full of artless jealousy is guilt. It splits itself in fearing to be split. We had Fuck You Beverly with it's the beans that they're full of. They're full of it. We had Ethan Merman with, probably the self-important paranoia that Satan is constantly attempting to corrupt them. That'd be my guess. We had Russ of Yorkshire with, I like the way they TED talk, but can they have a Mr. Potato Head toy without the face parts? Keep the feet, right? Yes, they can keep the feet. We had Voodoo with electricity is the devil, but I'm going to stick my dick in this plug socket where I make these totally fun, not lame toys. We had Wombat Preservationist with I can't tell if the hot gooey battle cat is Amish or Enochi in light language. Either way, it's pretty hot. We had the Amish guy Mothman Mother with Amish my power tools and radio. And finally, we had Blue Box UFO with there was this bowl and it was finally crafted by the Amish, but it led me to the devil and he made me fill it with his hot gooiness. I'm going to ask you, Drea Mora, who do you think won this week's poll?
Oh, my heart is set on Bookish Man's drive-by shunning.
All right. Yeah, you got the Bookish Man. How about you, Rob? Who do you think won?
Since I can't agree with Drea again every single week. I feel like we've been doing the same ones
I mean,
a lot.
you can.
They are really good.
Look, if you agree, you agree.
No, but I'd really like this other one too, so I'm going to go with it. I liked the guy who said, I miss my radio.
That one was really funny, for sure.
Good.
Wait, which one was that?
I missed one of the last ones. I miss my
power tools and radio.
Yeah, I miss my power
Amish
tools and radio because he misses them, dude. Come on.
He should never have missed them.
I'm gonna I'll back you up because that is pretty funny. Congratulations, the Amish guy / Mothman Mother with I miss my power tools and radio. Congratulations, you just won this week's poll results. And because of that, you are the... Come on, play it.
God, really? We're going to do this all the time now? Jesus Christ, here we go.
Champion.
Oh, but not only the champion of this week, you may be one of two things. Play it.
An international hero or a goat.
A gout.
You could be the gout.
A gout.
All right. Well, congratulations. And yes, we've come to the end of the program, but before we go, Drea Mora, do you have anything you would like to say or plug?
Yeah, just as usual, you can follow my other podcast at Spirits and Spirits Pod on Instagram and Ghost Drinkers for Twitter. We are seriously really about to launch the Patreon, so that should be up this weekend. So yeah, look forward to that if you guys can jump on that.
Excellent. Can't wait. And of course, Spirits and Spirits, great show. What about you, Rob? You have anything to say or plug?
Just check out my Instagram at Rob Oakey. Check out all the other shows I'm doing over at LPN. Check out LPN Deep Dives Dune. It's really good. Yeah, check out all that stuff.
All that fun stuff. And I'll just say a little thanks to the patrons. We have a new Patreon episode coming soon, but we also have a lot of stuff being shipped out right now. If you've been a new patron of the last few months, if you haven't gotten anything from us yet, there is a package on your way. And everyone in there, we have all kind of great stuff, a bunch of stickers and fun stuff that we've collected over the last few months are being shipped out now.
You got a new episode cooking up, right?
New episode coming up too, and we're going to
yeah.
do some new watch-alongs soon. So go check out our Patreon. Always fun stuff happening. You're getting a lot of cool stuff being on there. And that's it. The Unbelievers podcast hosts of this week were Drea Mora, Alice Curry, and me, Russ Ryan. Our producer and soundboard engineer is Rob Oakey. You can get our tarot cards at unbelievablepodcast.com. You can join our Patreon by going to patreon.com/unbelieverspodcast. You can follow the show on Twitter at unbelieverspod and Instagram at unbelieverspodcast. Our Facebook group is the Unbelievable Podcast Network. And you can check out our merch store at TeePublic. There's a link in the description with all the fun stuff. We will be very soon adding a new shirt design of the Unbelievers podcast, Mike Army. The Mike Army has stepped up and sent a design. There are so many Mikes, and Michelle's listening.
We love you guys.
They demanded a design. We're going to put it up there. Dre, you going to get that Mike Army design up there?
Absolutely. Yeah, I have to, because I mean, like, my middle name counts, right?
Oh, if that's your... Yes, it does, and you can have one. We've established that on a Patreon episode. I can't have one. But my nephew Mikey from Turbs, he's in the Mike Army.
Look, you can still enlist in the Mike Army. You can still be a peon, you know?
You could just be a member of it. But the Mikes, step up. Come on, there's like at least 12 or 14 of you. Get these shirts. So go to TeePublic. We're going to get that up as soon as we can. And thank you so much to our patrons, Sandy and Deborah Foles, Chad Buda, Chris Stroker, Jeffrey Hartenraff, Luis Payon, 8-Bit Melody, Jenny Dyer, Christopher Balderrama, David Egelhoff, Pam Z, JT Spranklin, Vic Voss, Little BB, Dr. Ortega, Tyler Ventura, Adam Dvorak, Corrupted Mask, Michael Phillips, Weary Exile, Carol Valley, Manny, MQ Ultra, CJP, Braden Hitt, Raymond Ruel, Todd X, Christopher Panici, The Moon, The Judgy Moon, Mike Army Henry, Bryce Cronenberger Jr., Dawn Bright, Shannon Ferrigno, Tom O'Connell, Mark Army Braun, Donna Vance, Jenna Stevens, Cat Chaos, Jason Kelly, and Mike of the Army of Mikes, Brian Ashton, Michael Army Menta, Jack S., the Wombat Preservationist. Our musical advisor is Pandora 3373. Our official composer and theme song creator is Unbeliever Aaron, aka Aaron Shilb. Follow him on Instagram at the Aaron Shilb. Our official graphic designer and card maker who designed our logo is Raymond Rowell. Check out his work at P Raven Creative on Twitter and Project Raven Creative on Instagram. Our official Unbeliever listening between the stations for a message from Art Bell is Scott E. Our official Hazmat Lou is Hazmat Lou. Our official Unbeliever without a title is Nicholas Arastavi. Our official Unbeliever raising puck wedgies. I wanted to say peacefully raising puck wedgies. I'm sure that's the case.
Sure, it's peaceful.
Is Joe Filler. Our official Hawaiian paranormal investigator is Green Finhawk. Our official resident Sagittarius is Kozanton. Our official Madman is Unbeliever Adam. Our official Mothman enthusiast is Michael Shields. Our official Unbelievers MUFON Inside Man is Krista Moraes. Our official Unbeliever peacefully eating a hamburger is Michelle Durham. Our official Unbelievers time traveler is Taylor Nelson. Our official ghost hunter is Amelia Childs and ghost hunting in New England. And congratulations, Amelia. Amelia got married, I think today, as we were recording this show.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Amelia Childs. We're so happy for you. And Hubie Halloween on Netflix. Our official senior European correspondent is Kay Mill of the I Don't Know podcast. Our official Guardian of the Bench is at Krakenstacker. Our official Alien Bopper is Nunchuck Bob. And this week's Unbeliever focus is Unbeliever Avery, who just had a tumor successfully removed from his brain. And we are all very, very relieved. Thankful, Avery, you're all healthy now. But before this operation, I took that surgeon aside, and I made sure that he understood that either he would turn out to be
an international hero or a goat.
He's the hero. All right, good night. Bye, Chico.
Goat. Sasquatch ski, swinging long and free, like the size of a regulation water ski. It's got me scared to sleep, because it's haunting my dreams. We're talking months and months of
Action-packed movie was real.
Is this a movie that you've made?
We did this. We put it together. And I'll tell you the reason why. The world wanted to know. Joan, please, honey. You got to understand something. Everything you do is being picked up here. Every time you turn on a switch, every time you have those doors going up and down and squeaking, he gets feedback and he has to go in and edit it, all this crap. All right, please? So don't move. Yeah, that's a good idea. Joan, get me a Snapple.